Have you ever been told that seeds are always healthy, that they're tiny powerhouses packed with fiber, nutrients, and natural energy? For decades, doctors, magazines, even food companies have repeated the same message. Eat more seeds. They're good for your heart, good for your digestion, good for your body. But here's a truth that very few people talk about, and one that matters even more once you're past 60. Not every seed is your friend. Yes, some seeds are wonderful. They can sharpen your memory, strengthen your bones, calm your joints, and even help you sleep better. But others, the very ones many of us sprinkle daily on our salads, yogurts, or snacks, can slowly turn against us. Hidden inside those so-called superfoods are compounds that may accelerate aging, trigger silent inflammation, and weaken your heart and joints. And the most shocking part? Almost no one over 60 knows this is happening. Let me put this into perspective. Imagine you're adding a handful of seeds to your morning oatmeal. You think you're doing something healthy, something smart for your body. But instead, those tiny kernels are quietly spiking your inflammation, stiffening your arteries, or blocking your body from absorbing the minerals it desperately needs to stay strong. It sounds unbelievable, right? After all, how could something so small, something labeled as natural and wholesome, be harmful? Well, science is catching up. Studies in senior nutrition are beginning to reveal what traditional wisdom and decades of observation have long hinted at. Your body changes with age, and so does the way it reacts to food. What worked for you at 40 may not work the same way at 70. Your digestion is slower, your hydration is lower, your immune system is more sensitive, and your balance of nutrients, especially things like calcium, magnesium, and healthy fats, becomes more delicate. That means the same seed that once gave you energy could now be silently draining it. The same snack that once seemed harmless might now be fueling joint pain, bloating, or fatigue. But don't worry, this isn't a video about fear. It's about wisdom, about learning which seeds to enjoy in moderation and which seeds to lean on every single day to give you back the energy, the clarity, and the strength you deserve in this stage of life. So here's what we're going to do today. I'll walk you through the 3 seeds you should avoid or limit after 60, because they're more trouble than they're worth. And then, I'll reveal the 3 seeds you should eat daily, the ones that can transform your heart, your memory, your joints, and even your sleep. Every example you'll hear is grounded in real science, peer-reviewed research, and decades of experience in senior nutrition. And to make it even more relatable, I'll share real patient stories. Men and women just like you, from their late 60s into their 70s, who changed just one simple thing in their diet and felt years younger. Now, before we dive in, I want to ask you 2 quick questions. First, what seeds do you eat most often? Sunflower? Sesame? Maybe chia in your smoothies? And second, have you ever noticed strange bloating, joint stiffness, or unexplained fatigue after eating them? If you have, you're not alone. And chances are, you'll get your answer in this video. So stay with me, take notes if you'd like, and by the end, you'll know exactly which seeds to keep on your table and which ones to clear out of your pantry. Because after 60, food isn't just food anymore. It's your medicine. It's your energy. It's your independence. Let's get started. Dangerous seed number 3, sunflower seeds, when eaten daily in excess. Now let's start our list with one that may surprise you, sunflower seeds. They seem so harmless, don't they? You see them everywhere, in granola bars, sprinkled on salads, sold in little snack packs at the grocery store. For years, they've been promoted as a convenient source of vitamin E and healthy fats. And for younger people, a handful here and there probably isn't a problem. But for seniors, especially when eaten daily and in excess, sunflower seeds can quietly turn into a metabolic nightmare. Here's why. Sunflower seeds are extremely high in omega-6 fatty acids. Now, omega-6 isn't evil. In fact, your body needs it in small amounts for normal cell function. The trouble comes when the balance between omega-6 and omega-3 goes way off track. Think of it like a seesaw. On one side sits omega-6, on the other, omega-3. When the seesaw is balanced, your body runs smoothly, inflammation is controlled, your joints feel flexible, your arteries stay clear. But when omega-6 gets too heavy, it slams the seesaw down and kicks omega-3 into the air, leaving your body in a state of chronic inflammation. And guess what? Sunflower seeds are one of the fastest ways to overload that balance. A handful or two every single day can push the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio from the healthy 4:1, all the way up to 18:1 or more. What does that mean in real life? It means stiff knees that make it harder to climb stairs. It means swelling around your ankles after a short walk. It means silent changes inside your arteries, making them less flexible, more prone to blockage, and more vulnerable to heart disease. Take George, a 71-year-old retired bus driver. After years of working long shifts, he enjoyed his retirement by spending afternoons watching sports on TV. His favorite habit? A big bowl of sunflower seeds. He'd sit through an entire game, cracking shells and telling himself, "At least it's healthier than chips." But over time, George noticed something troubling. His knees were stiff every morning, and his ankles swelled by evening. Even walking around the block felt exhausting. When he finally saw his doctor, his blood tests showed high levels of inflammation. The surprising culprit wasn't red meat or sugar. It was the sunflower seeds he was eating every single day. When George cut back on sunflower seeds and swapped them for pumpkin seeds and a spoonful of ground flax, the results were dramatic. Within weeks, the swelling in his ankles eased, and he regained the energy to take longer walks with his grandson. The lesson isn't that sunflower seeds are bad. It's that too much, too often tips the balance. For seniors, daily handfuls can quietly stoke inflammation, but rotating seeds, pumpkin for minerals, flax for omega-3s, hemp for balance, helps keep the body in harmony. So if sunflower seeds are your everyday snack, consider making them an occasional treat instead. Because after 60, what you eat every day shapes how well you move, think, and feel. Dangerous seed number 2, sesame seeds. Sesame seeds seem harmless, almost invisible. They sit quietly on top of hamburger buns, hide in crackers, and swirl into creamy hummus and salad dressings. For many seniors, they're part of daily meals without even thinking about it. But here's the hidden risk. For people over 60, sesame seeds can trigger problems you may never connect to food, from mineral deficiencies to allergy-like symptoms. The issue comes down to two things. First, sesame is high in phytates, natural compounds that bind to essential minerals like calcium, magnesium, and zinc. In younger bodies, this might not matter much, but as we age, our digestion slows and absorption weakens. That means sesame seeds can quietly rob the very minerals your bones and muscles depend on. Second, sesame is one of the fastest-growing adult-onset allergens. The FDA even added it to the official allergen list recently because so many older adults began showing unexpected reactions. Not dramatic anaphylaxis, but slow, nagging issues like skin rashes, sinus congestion, or fatigue that no one ties back to sesame. Let me share a real lifestyle example. Maria, a 68-year-old retired school teacher, loved Middle Eastern food. She made hummus at home 3 or 4 times a week and drizzled sesame oil over her stir-fries. For years, she thought she was eating clean and healthy, but she struggled with brittle nails, frequent muscle cramps, and an itchy rash that just wouldn't go away. After testing, doctors found her calcium and zinc levels were low, despite supplements. The culprit? Too much sesame, day after day, binding minerals and irritating her immune system. When Maria switched things up, cutting hummus down to once in a while and replacing sesame oil with olive oil, her rash cleared within weeks, and her nails and muscles slowly strengthened again. The lesson is not that sesame must disappear forever. It's about variety and caution. If you enjoy sesame, keep it as an occasional accent, not the backbone of your diet. Rotate with avocado, walnuts, or olive oil to give your body healthier fats and minerals without the hidden drawbacks. At 60 and beyond, small choices like this make a big difference. Too much sesame can quietly chip away at your strength, but smarter swaps can help protect your bones, skin, and energy for years to come. Dangerous seed number 1, chia seeds. Few foods have been hyped as much as chia seeds. Open any wellness magazine or social media feed, and you'll see chia puddings, smoothies, and superfood powders. The message is simple. Chia is fiber-rich, heart-friendly, and perfect for digestion. But here's the catch: most people don't hear. Especially dangerous after 60. Chia seeds can be harmful when eaten the wrong way. The problem is how chia behaves when it meets liquid. These tiny seeds swell up to more than 10 times their size, turning into a gel. If they're fully soaked before eating, that gel can be soothing and helpful. But if you swallow them dry, or with only a sip of water, they can expand inside your throat or digestive tract. For seniors, who often have slower digestion, dry mouth, or conditions like acid reflux, this can cause serious blockages. Let me give you an example. Robert, a 74-year-old retired carpenter, wanted to improve his health after seeing friends struggle with diabetes. His daughter gave him a pack of superfood powders and told him to add chia to his morning cereal. Excited to try something healthy, Robert sprinkled a heaping spoonful of dry chia onto his breakfast and washed it down with just half a glass of water. Within days, he began feeling bloated and constipated. One morning, he woke up with such sharp stomach pains that he couldn't stand straight. At the clinic, doctors found he had a partial blockage. The chia had clumped together in his gut instead of helping it. Thankfully, with treatment and some diet changes, Robert recovered. Now he still enjoys chia, but only the safe way. Soaked in water for at least 30 minutes in small portions, starting with half a teaspoon. That's the key message for anyone over 60. Chia is not bad. It has fiber, antioxidants, and plant-based omega-3s. But it must be prepared properly. Never eat it dry. Always soak it well or swap it for ground flax seeds, which offer similar benefits without the same choking risk. At this age, safety matters as much as nutrition. And something as small as a spoonful of dry chia can make the difference between a healthy gut and a trip to the emergency room. We've just walked through 3 seeds that can quietly work against you after 60. Sunflower seeds, sesame seeds, and dried chia. All of them so common, so familiar, yet capable of stirring up hidden inflammation, robbing your body of minerals, or creating uncomfortable digestive issues. Now, I don't share these examples to scare you. The goal is never fear. It's awareness. Because once you know what to limit, you can make space for the foods that truly support you. And here's the encouraging part. Just as some seeds can quietly drain your energy, others can just as quietly give it back. The right seeds, prepared in the right way, can calm inflammation, strengthen your bones, support your heart, and even bring back the energy you thought you had lost. Think of it like clearing weeds from a garden. First, you pull out the plants that choke your soil. Then, you plant seeds that grow into strong, nourishing food. The same applies to your body. Remove what harms and add what heals. So now, let's flip the script. Instead of talking about what to avoid, let's talk about what to embrace. Here are 3 seeds you should eat daily. The quiet champions that can protect your memory, your mobility, and your joy in life after 60. Good seed number 3, flax seeds, ground fresh. Among all the seeds you can add to your diet, few are as humble as flax. They don't have flashy marketing. They don't dominate grocery store shelves. In fact, many people walk right past them without a second thought. Yet, for people over 60, flax seeds can be one of the most powerful allies for your health. Why is that? Because flax seeds work gently. And at this stage of life, gentle is exactly what your body needs. Flax is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, the type that calms inflammation and protects your heart. But it's also full of lignans, special plant compounds that help balance hormones and support bone strength. And perhaps most importantly for seniors, flax is an excellent source of fiber, the kind that eases digestion without causing bloating. But here's something many people don't realize. Flax seeds need a little preparation. Whole flax seeds are tiny and hard. If you swallow them as they are, they'll pass right through your body without releasing their benefits. That's why the secret is to use ground flax. either grinding it fresh at home or buying it pre-ground and keeping it in the fridge. Let me share a story. Evelyn, a 67-year-old grandmother, used to dread mornings because of her digestion. She often felt heavy and uncomfortable after breakfast, and constipation left her frustrated. Fiber supplements only made her more bloated. One day, her daughter suggested she try adding a teaspoon of ground flax to her yogurt. Evelyn hesitated. How could something so simple make a difference? But within a week, she felt lighter. After 2 weeks, her digestion was smoother, and she even had more energy during her morning walks. At her next checkup, her cholesterol numbers had improved too. That's the beauty of flax. It doesn't demand dramatic changes. You don't have to give up your favorite meals. Just add a spoonful here and there. Mix it into oatmeal, sprinkle it over soup, or blend it into a smoothie. 2 teaspoons a day is enough to gently support your digestion, your heart, and even your memory. And unlike many supplements that feel like a chore, flax can become a small, comforting ritual. Imagine stirring it into a warm bowl of porridge on a cool morning, knowing you're giving your body exactly what it needs. Flax may not shout for attention, but sometimes the quietest things bring the most lasting benefits. For anyone over 60, it's a gentle healer, simple, affordable, and powerful in the ways that matter most. Good seed number 2, pumpkin seeds, the nighttime comforter. If flax is the gentle healer, then pumpkin seeds are the quiet comforter, especially at night. Many seniors struggle with restless legs, poor sleep, or slow recovery from even small cuts and bruises. Pumpkin seeds may look small, but they hold 2 minerals that make a world of difference: magnesium and zinc. Magnesium is like nicotine. That's where pumpkin seeds come in. Just one small handful, about 25 to 30 grams, can restore what the body is quietly missing. Let me paint a picture. Bernard, a 73-year-old retired mechanic, loved tinkering in his garage even after retirement. But at night, his calves would cramp so badly that he'd have to get out of bed and walk around. His sleep was broken, his mornings were groggy, and he felt older than his years. He tried calcium tablets, but nothing helped. Then his daughter suggested a natural experiment, a handful of pumpkin seeds in the evening. Within a few weeks, Bernard noticed something remarkable. The cramps eased, his nights stretched into deeper, calmer sleep. He woke up with more energy, ready to enjoy his mornings again. And his wife smiled too, because his constant tossing and turning no longer kept her awake. That's the quiet power of pumpkin seeds. They don't just fill your stomach, they nourish your muscles, nerves, and immune system in ways you can feel every single day. The best way to enjoy them? Keep it simple. Lightly roast them at home, but don't overdo it. Too much heat can damage their delicate oils. Skip the salted, flavored versions sold in bags. They add sodium you don't need. Instead, go for plain, unsalted seeds. Chew them slowly and let your body absorb every mineral. Pumpkin seeds aren't trendy, and they don't need to be. They're steady, reliable, and comforting, like an old friend who shows up exactly when you need them most. For people over 60, that handful at night might be the difference between waking up groggy and waking up refreshed, ready to greet the day. So if restless nights or slow healing have been bothering you, consider making pumpkin seeds part of your daily routine. Sometimes the smallest handful can bring the biggest relief. Good seed number 1, hemp seeds, the strength restorer. If flax is the gentle healer and pumpkin seeds are the nighttime comforter, then hemp seeds are the strength restorer. They're soft, nutty, and easy to chew. Yet inside these tiny kernels lies a balance that older bodies crave. What makes hemp seeds so special? It's their perfect harmony of omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. Many foods like sunflower oil or processed snacks drown the body in omega-6. Hemp seeds bring the balance back, like tuning an instrument until the music sounds just right. This balance soothes inflammation, protects the heart, and supports the brain. But there's more. Hemp seeds are one of the few foods rich in gamma-linolenic acid, GLA, a rare compound that calms aching joints, supports hormone balance, and keeps metabolism steady. For people over 60, that means less stiffness, more energy, and steadier moods. And unlike other seeds that need soaking or grinding, hemp is ready to eat. Sprinkle 3 tablespoons on your breakfast yogurt, stir them into soup, or blend them into a smoothie. They melt softly into food, making them one of the easiest ways to add strength to your day. Let me share a story. Walter, a 76-year-old retired schoolteacher, had always loved gardening, but arthritis in his knees forced him to rely on a cane. The joy of kneeling in the soil, planting flowers, and tending to vegetables seemed lost. He tried creams, supplements, even pain medications. Nothing gave him lasting relief. Then his doctor suggested a simple addition: 3 tablespoons of hemp seeds every morning. Walter blended them into a smoothie with almond milk and fruit. Within 3 weeks, the stiffness in his knees eased. By 6 weeks, he found himself walking without his cane more often than not. And 2 months later, he was back in the garden, kneeling carefully, smiling as he pulled weeds with his bare hands. That's the gift of hemp seeds. They don't promise miracles, but they support your body so gently and steadily that one day you wake up and realize you feel stronger, lighter, and more like yourself again. For seniors, hemp seeds are not just food. They're a form of quiet insurance. They protect your heart, ease inflammation, and restore strength without pills or side effects. A few spoonfuls a day can keep you active, independent, and free to enjoy the little joys of life. Whether that's walking with a grandchild, gardening on a sunny morning, or simply getting out of bed without pain. At 60 and beyond, those little victories mean everything, and hemp seeds can help you claim them back. So now you know the truth. Some seeds, the ones we often think of as superfoods, can quietly stir up problems after 60. Sunflower seeds, sesame seeds, and dried chia. They're not evil, but when eaten too often or in the wrong way, they add fuel to the fires of inflammation, weaken digestion, or rob your body of minerals. But you also know the brighter side. Flax, pumpkin, and hemp seeds, when enjoyed daily and prepared properly, can become your quiet allies. They heal gently, comfort you at night, restore your strength, and keep your body in balance. Think of it this way. Every small choice you make now is like planting in your own garden. Pull out the weeds that drain your soil and plant the seeds that grow into strength, energy, and peace. Over time, those choices blossom into better mornings, easier walks, and more joy with the people you love. Remember, health after 60 is not about strict diets or giving up everything you enjoy. It's about wisdom. It's about choosing foods that work with your body today, not the way it worked decades ago. So I'll leave you with a question. Which seed will you add to your routine tomorrow morning? And which one will you quietly set aside? Share your answer in the comments. I love reading your stories and seeing how small changes make a big difference in real lives. And if you found this video helpful, please subscribe and share it with someone you care about. Because after 60, health isn't a luxury. It's the foundation for everything: your energy, your independence, and your joy. Take care, choose wisely, and I'll see you in the next video.